morning, everyone. Welcome to day 24 of the Forks Over Knives challenge. So, not last night, but the night before, I had my spaghetti squash with tomato sauce that I made, and it was absolutely fabulous. It was super, super wonderful. And then last night when I got up, my husband was making spaghetti for the kids. It's the one meal, we make a lot of different things for the kids, and it's the one meal that they ask for all the time. So he makes spaghetti, he makes waffles on Fridays, and he makes spaghetti at least once a week. Not at least. He makes spaghetti once a week. So anyways, he was making spaghetti last night, and even though I had just had spaghetti, I had some again because it was awesome. So I actually had it with a little bit of pasta and a little bit of green beans because that's the way I love spaghetti. It's wonderful. So I took that with me, and then I had my husband cut up another Honeycrisp apple for me, which right now they are so sweet and so good. So I had food last night, but I wanted to come home and make a breakfast recipe for you guys so you guys could try this. I'm not sure how this is gonna taste. I'm not sure about this combination of spices or not, but we're gonna give it a shot and see what it turns out to be like. It's called sweet potato pie oatmeal. So there is the recipe, the ingredients, and the recipe all in one. So I've done part of this so far. So the part that I have done has been to cook the sweet potato. So I've got a large sweet potato. Oh, my honey's home. I've got a large sweet potato that I boiled and then mashed, and that's what you're supposed to start with. You're supposed to do that to begin with. And then you're actually supposed to then put all your ingredients together in the pot and cook it some more. So at this point, the only thing, let's start with some spices. So I have an orange, and I did go ahead and zest some of it. And you're supposed to put 1/4 teaspoon of orange zest in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then the other two ingredients that are 1/4 teaspoon are allspice. And actually for ginger, you're supposed to use 1/2 teaspoon, but I'm only going to use 1/4 teaspoon because I'm not such a huge fan of ginger. And I think that will probably be sufficient. So I'm going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of allspice and 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. There's actually quite a few spices in this, which is fine. So there's those two. And then the next thing that you're supposed to put in there is some cinnamon. You're supposed to put 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon in here. I am going to do 1/2 teaspoon. I really do like cinnamon. And then a pinch of salt, which I actually am going to put that in there. Usually I don't add salt, but at this point I'm actually going to go ahead and add just one little shake of salt because I think that sounds like it would be good. So you have allspice, orange zest, ginger, cinnamon, and then you are supposed to use 1 cup. It says almond milk, but we always just use soy milk because my boys can drink soy milk and they can't drink almond milk. So we always just have almond milk. And then 1 cup of rolled oats. So those two things are both a cup. I'm going to put those both in there. But the other ingredient that it calls for is 1/2 cup of date molasses. I don't have date molasses. I'm not going to buy date molasses. But I do have, Trader Joe's has medjool dates that are chopped up. And they're just, these are actually coated in coconut flour, which is weird. I've never seen one with coconut flour. I've seen them with oat flour, which I can't find anymore. They used to have those at Aldi's, and they don't anymore. But these are not super sweet. But I'm thinking that once they're in the liquid and they cook and they get mixed throughout the whole entire recipe, I think it's going to be fine. So what you do is you mix, after you have drained and mashed and did your sweet potato, you add all the other ingredients and cook it over medium heat till the oats are tender, about 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to go and do that part, and then I will come back and we will discuss this. And I am going to put a few little pieces of pecan with this. No, I don't have pecans, walnuts with this, because I think that will be very tasty with this type of oatmeal. So let me go make some oatmeal and I'll be back with you guys so we can try this in just a little bit. All right guys, so I made sweet potato pie oatmeal and I've tried it and it was delicious when it was in the pan. My husband said that he really likes the sweet potato with the oatmeal and the spices with it, except, and I really knew he wasn't gonna like this, he does not like the orange zest in it. Anytime I ever try to make root vegetables of any sort and I put orange juice or orange zest with it in the past, he is not a fan. And there's a lot of times that I don't actually care for it either, so it's not just him. But in this case, it's actually very good and light and springy. I like it a lot. It's very good, and it's very pretty. Look at how pretty that is. I've got some sweet potatoes and some walnuts and a few dates and some orange zest. Anyway, that's what I'm going to eat for supper and breakfast, actually. I guess technically it's the last meal of the day, so it would be supper, but it's definitely breakfast time for everybody else. Normal people, that's what I call. These are normal people hours. Anyways, I am going to go for a walk with my husband. I need to get changed after I eat, and I need to go for a walk, and we're gonna go, it's supposed to get drastically colder over the course of today, so we're gonna go for a walk soon-ish, so that it's actually pretty nice out right now. So I won't even need to like have a hat, just a sweatshirt will be fine, which is great. Even though I just bought a hat because it's been cold out. So how silly. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow.